Taurus, your week commencing the 16th of June forecast begins with the energy of that Mars-Uranus square, still very much to the fore. If we go back to the very start of when Uranus joined your sign in mid-May 2018, Mars and Uranus were in a square then. It's a once in 7 year event. So it could be, as you come into this new week, that something quite emotional was very much to the fore, particularly if you felt in some ways closed in terms of your need to be a freer spirit, which Uranus has been pushing you to embrace over that entire period, but particularly full time since March 2019. If there is someone close to you who doesn't like the fact that you're asserting your more authentic self, that may have caused a quarrel, and that energy could still be just vibrating as you come into this new week. Now Jupiter, the planet of optimism, has of course moved into your sector of everyday communication, and those communications are going to be very much to the fore this week, but there is a need for some care, and that's because of course Jupiter has emerged from the exact square with Saturn, but they're still in touch with each other all this week. Saturn and Neptune and also Chiron are all now in your house 12. The 12th house can be to do with the side of our natures that we're not so keen to think about or look at, the shadow side of our situations. So that can be our anxieties, fears, our past, hurts, separations, maybe where we've also experienced betrayals. And I think it is true that you could become more conscious of someone throughout this week who may apparently seem to share a rapport with you, but doesn't in some ways quite seem quite as authentic as you would like. And bear that in mind, because Mars is going to be switching on Tuesday into a much more benevolent zone for you through to the 6th of August. It's going to give you a greater sense of allure and attractiveness. You're going to strut your stuff and feel even more gorgeous. And of course Venus is in your sign, so she's been encouraging you to, perhaps even if you are a dedicated follower of fashion, to just make some small adjustments to your appearance, your clothes and so forth. So the combination between them two is very welcome. Now Mars is actually going to forge a very energized link with Jupiter throughout the rest of this week. So if you are someone who's got a clear idea of what you want to say, and you've got some real passion about a creative plan or idea, you can certainly get it across with conviction and authority, but no little enthusiasm. But if you're not so sure, or there is a seed of doubt within you, or there's someone around you that you're not quite convinced about, that could come up through the quarter moon on Wednesday. And it may, to be honest, be someone you know quite well. Because the moon's in your 11th house of your network, your friendships, but you may become more conscious that that person could be a bit jealous. It may be over your financial situation. They may feel, as you see it, that you're more enriched in some ways in a certain part of your life, or maybe it's just a downright squabble over money. It could be over a point of principle, to be fair. Just be conscious that Jupiter and Neptune come into an exact peak of a square on Thursday. If ever there was an aspect that would create a sense of unreality, it's that. If you're told something on Thursday that just feels off, just doesn't feel genuine, trust your gut instinct on that. But as we come into the end of the week, of course, there is the summer solstice, ushering in the sun's return to Cancer after 11 months. But also the sun combines with Jupiter, and therefore they both link back to Mars. So if you are someone who wants to really enjoy your love life, you're lucky enough to be with someone that you can chat freely with, you are someone who enjoys sharing your ideas or knowledge online, you can come into some much better form at the end of this week. But just be conscious that that summer solstice does see the sun and also Jupiter clashing still with Saturn and Neptune. So they're really influential, even though the peak of Saturn square with Jupiter was on Sunday last week. So essentially, if you're going through a phase at the moment where your inner confidence is a little bit frail, you're not quite so sure, this is probably a good week as it goes on to spend time with people you're very, very confident of. Those are the people you can relax with, and those are the people you can have some serious fun with. But if there are any fair weather friends around you, Taurus, just keep your guard up a little bit more for the period of this week. Please join me at my new website at patrickarundell.com. It has been going for 24 years in total. We've given it a refresh. You can enjoy your free daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, general, love and Vedic horoscopes, but also my sensational three-card tarot. That's patrickarundell.com.